celebrate Christmas quite big?
We do actually in my family, yeah. We do Christmas quite big, yeah. I mean, we don't spend loads of money during the year, but at Christmas we do buy lots of presents for each other, yeah.
Do you, so are you Christian, or is it just like you guys...
No, I'm not Christian. My family all are Christians, but I'm not.
Oh, what are you, if you don't mind asking?
I'm just atheist, really. I don't believe in anything.
You don't believe in a creator?
No, I believe in science.
You believe in science?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Because science hasn't disproved God.
Well, I believe in. I don't believe that a single man created anything. I feel like it was a collection of.
A man created?
Well, a god.
Okay.
Whatever.
A divine being, yeah?
Yeah, I don't believe one single person done everything. I believe there was someone like that was a leader at some point, 2015 years ago, but I don't believe it was the creator of all earth or being.
What do you mean, a leader? Like, who are you talking about?
So, what are you talking about?
No, I'm
What do you mean?
no, I'm with you. I'm just trying to, because you said leader.
So I don't believe in a particular man, Jesus.
Oh, you're talking about, you're referring to Jesus.
I don't believe in I don't believe one particular person. I mean, I don't follow a Bible or a book or anything.
Oh, okay.
But I don't believe that they created the world either.
But your family do?
My family would be Christians, yeah. Are you religious?
No, not really. I wouldn't say so.
No.
But then the definition of religious it's got a bit of a spin. Depends really what you mean.
Yeah. Do you practice a religion?
Yeah, I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
So I believe in God and stuff. So Christmas is more like a tradition then, yeah? For you?
Christmas is just like a family gathering for me, yeah. Rather than a
religious event.
religious act, yeah.
But for your family, it's different, yeah. Do they go to church?
They go to church, they do, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know whether they're going to go this year, probably, but I'm not. I don't go.
So they know they know your beliefs and stuff. They know it's.
Yeah. I mean, my dad isn't particularly religious, nor my mum, but two of my sisters are, and my brother. They got into it a little bit later on in life, really. It was nothing that we wasn't born into any sort of religious belief or upbringing or anything. It's something they got into it on their own.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you guys talk, did they not ask you like how we came about and stuff like that?
Well, I just believe that we evolved through evolution. I don't believe that we've been put here by a person, no. So.
But you see the universe, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, studies of the universe, it says that the universe is like forever expanding.
Yeah.
Yeah? Which means at one point, it was at a single point, like the singularity point, which is what it's called. So, even...
A tiny bit of gas, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's like atmosphere, it's like, you know, like people that maybe believe in God, they would say nothing means not a thing.
Yeah.
But people that kind of follow science would say nothing is the absence of something.
Yeah.
Which is a very vague description, because that could include that atmosphere was there. But we're actually saying that was something that wasn't there, that wasn't there as well. So time and space and atmosphere and everything else has been created. Do you get my meaning?
Yeah.
Yeah. So who created that atmosphere? Atmosphere don't just create itself. I mean, from our human experience, we have
But, I mean, it's impossible. It did create itself. No one's created it as it is. It's completely impossible for a being to create an atmosphere. So it must have evolved from, you know, gas. I don't know. It's a good question. I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely, in my opinion, no way that something of us has created that.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't even replicate. We can't even like recreate a single fly, and that's kind of, you know, like a being that would be kind of small and probably the easiest thing to replicate.
Yeah.
We can't even do that yet.
How is it there?
Yeah, I mean, how is it possible that?
It's mental, isn't it?
When I say God, yeah, like our descriptive manner of God would be a God that's uncreated.
Yeah.
He's the Alpha and the Omega. Because, like, you know, if we look at the universe and studies of the universe, we see planets, we see stars, but we know these things don't create themselves or create anything else. They don't create others like them. So, and looking at the world, you know, it's we see creation, we see design, we see. You don't see design in the world? You don't think?
You mean in its natural form, or you mean?
I mean, like in terms of like order. You know, like it's the world is not in chaos. Well, I mean, humans have made it in chaos in terms of situation and stuff. But the fact that, you know, we have the exact right gases, the correct amount of gases to breathe in.
That's just by chance, though, I think.
That's by chance?
I think so, yeah.
Do you think it's by chance that we're exactly at the right temperature away from the sun? Any closer we'd burn and any further away we'd freeze?
Yeah, I think it's by chance that the Earth is the only habitable planet. Yeah, I do. I think that's a chance, and that's why we've been able to evolve.
What do you know? Do you have any example of anything that
Well, yeah, the moon. There's no oxygen, so you can't live there.
No. I mean, like, out of chaos has come order, which is what you're saying is chance, isn't it? Do you have any?
What do you mean? Well,
from your human existence, yeah, or experience, do you know anything that has come by out of chaos has come order?
Out of chaos.
Because that's what you're saying. How we're created. Like,
yeah,
basically, you're saying that it was a random event. It was.
Well, I don't think it was random. I think it was a build up, and a build up, and a build up, and a build up. And
built up by who?
Well, different gases, different, you know, I don't know, whatever's up.
But what I'm saying is, there wasn't a intention.
No, there's no purpose. There was no intention.
There was no intention. So that's what I'm saying. So it's by chance, isn't it?
It's just by chance.
It's a random occurrence.
It happened to be where it needed to be.
Right. So that's what I'm asking.
Evolution.
Like, do you have? I mean, apart from this ideology, do you have any other example in the whole of your existence or your experiences? Do you have any other example
really.
you could give?
No, not really.
Do you believe the universe is infinite? Like,
Yeah.
it's forever? Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you easy with that? Like, do you contemplate that quite easily? Do you accept that?
I guess. I mean, I don't know enough about like physics and, you know, to truly understand how far. I mean, we've only touched the surface. If you, I mean, you could go up into wherever, go into a black hole and go into a completely different dimension.
Right.
So, and then that dimension can lead to another. I mean, who knows how far back it goes? I don't think it stops. No.
But that doesn't. Was that your response to the chaos, order coming out of chaos question?
No. I don't really know of any. I mean, what, you mean like man-made chaos or just?
No, I mean like
chaos?
like any type of chaos is just come perfect order. Like we are. Would you agree that the world is in balance, that we're able to?
Perfect order, though, is it? You know, because we had the ice age and that was a disaster. Everything died, and then it started again. So yeah, there's chaos. The ice age.
Right, but
and then followed along came the man.
But I'm saying that the day and age that we're in now, you know, the protection of layers that we have against even the sun, the 7 layers and stuff like that. it's just right for all creation to live and be able to breathe and survive. And even then, before the before the ice age or whatever, still you had the same thing.
Yeah. That's because we've made it habitable, isn't it? I mean, if you was in the middle of the outback in Australia and as hot as it gets there, and you were just standing there, you would die. But because humans have worked out a way to survive on this planet, that's how it. I mean, it didn't. Not every part of the Earth is habitable. It's parts of Siberia, it's minus 40 degrees.
Agreed. Yeah.
So it's not all.
But we have creatures that are living in harmony all over the planet.
Yeah.
And even in places where humans can't exist.
Yeah.
We still have creatures that do live there.
Yeah.
Choice of
I believe it's all come from, like, it's a scientific experiment that just happened to make this planet that it's far away enough from the sun where humans can live.
A scientific experiment.
Well, it's like
By who?
By the atmosphere, whatever, the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Where the Earth was created.
Yeah.
From whatever the Big Bang was, collision of gases or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
explosions.
But you know this Big Bang theory, because obviously it is still a theory, it's not a fact until it's proven. Do you know, like, roughly when the earliest kind of documentation came about in regards to this theory?
No. I think it's
not even a guess.
I think it's like that's the whole debate, isn't it? It's a human choice. I think you either choose to believe.
I mean, it's a fairly new concept in terms of like explanation of how the world is, and obviously through the studies.
That's because we've evolved in our learning.
Yeah.
And our
scientific age and stuff.
And our technology.
Sure.
So I think you was never told that.
So before
500 years ago, because there was not the research.
Exactly. So before the scientific age, we didn't know much about the universe. Is it not fair to say?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we still don't.
And we didn't. This theory of the Big Bang couldn't have. It never came about that time. It's recently because of
Well, that's because people that didn't study physics and whatever else did they.
And they wasn't so advanced in technology and stuff.
Yeah.
What if I told you that there is a revelation, that dates back to 1400 years ago, that actually speaks about the Big Bang, and says exactly how creation came about, and it's actually the first documented. It's the first place it's been documented in terms of the Big Bang.
Yeah.
And this came out of actually a revelation out of the Quran.
So what is it then?
No, I'm saying that it speaks about the Big Bang and how
it came out of the Quran.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that the Big Bang theory came out of there. They've done that from studying it.
But it talks about
They've done it by studying it and stuff. But what I'm saying is that it supports what's going on with this day and age. Also, embryology, which is something fairly recently we've been able to kind of pinpoint exactly how it forms, and how it grows from an embryo, and whatever else. And that's also spoken about in depth without using the scientific means that we have today, without using specialist tools and stuff like that. Because obviously this stuff is kind of naked. You can't see it with the naked eye. It's all microscopic, isn't it?
What do you mean, the forming of a?
Yeah, like when
an embryo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff is you can't see it with without technology. Basically.
What's said in the Quran though? I mean, I personally am quite sceptical to people's takes on what they're reading. I think you can take what you want to take from a chapter in a book.
Yeah.
You can make it what you want it to be.
Yeah.
Right. That's my.
Okay, it's not said in
I've
terms
not read
of
the Quran, so I don't know.
But it's not said in terms of like metaphors or anything like that, or in like a poetic form. It's said. I mean, obviously it was revealed in Arabic, right? And Arabic is quite an in-depth language, but it's said in a manner where it not only describes, not only does it say it stage by stage, but in a descriptive manner. It also says that the embryo is like a leech, like a bloodsucker.
Yeah.
It actually sucks onto its host, and even the look of it and the stages like that. It's quite detailed. There's even a scientist, Keith, what's his name? Keith Roger Moore or something. Keith Moore. He was a specialist in this field, and I don't know if he wanted to prove the Quran wrong, or he was quite interested as to what it says about it, because this is what he did, and this is something they discovered like in the 70s, 80s. Yeah. It's fairly recently, and even he testified that there is no way that this revelation could have been given to a man who came from, without a place like Saudi where science wasn't really practiced or anything like that. A layman, a person who was known literate, and he came with all these scientific signs or miracles.
So what do you take from it then? What I mean, if that is in there, and that's obviously something that is before research and all the rest of it. What do you take from it then? What does it mean?
I mean, does it
mean that you feel like
this is what
there was somebody that created everyone?
See, the Quran, we believe that the Quran is the actual word of God.
Yeah.
You see how the Bible is written like in a documented form, where it's a record of events, like Jesus went here and Jesus went there and stuff like that.
It's like a diary.
It's like a diary, exactly.
Yeah.
But the Quran is the spoken word it was given to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the message is God's message.
Yeah.
As if like if I was gonna call you and you put you put it on speakerphone and I'm talking to an audience or whatever.
Yeah.
The message is coming from me, not from the phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that. And it's the actual word, and what God says is that there are many signs for people to see.
Yeah.
And I mean, the two that I've just described is just a small example. I mean, there's many more. Even the language is very in depth. There's linguistic miracles. There's a challenge in the Quran that no one has actually been able to meet yet. It says, the smallest chapter in the Quran is 10 words and 3 verses, and the challenge is that if this is produced by a man, then reproduce something like it. But even if, and this is a bold statement now, even if you got the whole of mankind to come together to try to reproduce it, you wouldn't be able to do it, because this is flawless. There is no contradiction, there's no mistake.
It's our being? Or...
No, in the actual revelation itself.
Oh, okay.
To try to disprove it. And that's what scientists have been trying to do, and they haven't been able to do so. In fact, I think about 80% of the Quran has already been proven right. The 20% that hasn't is only because of the scientific age that we still haven't yet come into.
Yeah.
So
my thing with it all is the Quran, the Bible, whatever you choose to follow and sort of guide your life by, is that I there's just so many aspects of it that for me is not relevant to modern day living. I mean, obviously general morals and the way you carry about yourself and blah 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 perhaps is relevant in that day as it still is today, but
here's the thing. Look, you see your phone, yeah? What phone do you have?
It's an
iPhone, yeah? When you got your iPhone, what did you get inside it? In the box?
What do you mean?
Like what came with the actual iPhone itself? Well, hopefully it was genuine. You got some headphones and charger.
Oh, right, yeah.
And you got a manual, right?
Yeah.
And the manual was there to show you how to get the best out of it, to use it to its full capacity, and how and what not to do with it as well. Because only the manufacturers would know best about that product than anyone else, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? So likewise...
Is that what you're saying the Quran is?
Well, like all revelation that's come down is a book of guidance to show you how to succeed and
But I think there's many people that have been successful, had a meaningful, peaceful, healthy, happy life, and not followed a book.
It depends how you define successful, because like
successful in being happy and a healthy person is my kind of success.
Okay, but then like if we were to say it's okay to be good, just be a good person, and live your life like a good person, then our definition of good might be different.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because my definition of good might not be the same as yours. What might be good for me might harm you, and indirectly I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
But I think that is.
And as we're not perfect beings, like you already mentioned before, I believe, like we're not. Did you mention?
Well, no. I just think if you're being in, you know, everybody in this world knows what's right and what's wrong.
Do they?
Well,
look at the tyrant. Look at the tyrant leaders. They think they're doing right, but we can see that there's genocide and all sorts. Those are people that really need some guidance.
Yeah, I know. But
And those are people in power.
Yeah.
Do we know what's right?
They're the minority, though. The real change and all the good stuff that's ever happened in our world has come from the people. It's not come from those people, those individuals, has it? So I think actually.
Do you believe in karma? What goes around comes around type thing. You don't think if you do someone wrong, it'll come back?
I think they're just most people that do things on purposely to be spiteful or hurtful or evil. I think they already live in their own evil. So I think they're already living a karma, to be honest. So
just for an example, I don't know what your take is on say for example Hitler. Yeah.
Yeah.
He killed thousands, millions of people, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like he kills all those people, right? Yet what's the worst thing that can actually happen to him to balance things out?
You couldn't possibly balance.
You couldn't balance out, not in this lifetime, because even if he dies, it doesn't compare to the amount of lives he's, you know, affected and whatever else. So, do you not think that he would, you know, he would get his payback, so to speak? Do you not think that some type of justice would be served, some balance?
What you mean to him personally?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's used his free will to do horrible things and stuff like that. Do you not think that he's got to be accountable for those things? You think he's just got away with it scot-free? I mean, like you said, if he died, yeah, then it wouldn't even compare. You know, it wouldn't match up. So
no, I don't believe. No, I don't believe that he's. If I'm 100% honest, I don't believe that he's somewhere having a torturous, hideous existence. I just believe that he's.
You just believe he got away with it scot-free, like every other.
I don't think he got away with it, because I think the way he lived and the way he was, I think he was living in his own hell. To do something like that.
He was living it up. He was he was. I mean, he was a tyrant ruler and stuff. But I mean, you know, he was respected. He had money. This is exactly what he wanted. You know, he was getting his own way. He wanted to kind of.
What do you think then he's in hell?
Well, I think that everything. I think everything has a purpose, and I think everything will be answerable. They'll have an account of, you know, the things they've done. If they've done someone wrong, you know, because I mean, like even
answerable to who though?
Sorry. Answerable
to who? Who's he answering to now?
Answerable to the one who gave him this gift of life, this life, which is a test. I mean, we're dead a lot longer than we are alive, aren't we? So. Isn't it fair to conclude that whatever we do now in this existence is going to make some type of significant difference for when we pass?
Maybe for generations after, but maybe I'm not convinced that he's somewhere suffering now.
So do you believe like when you die, that's it? Like
I'm
nothing?
I'm not sure because I do believe in because I've got friends that have sort of seen different things and had unusual out of body weird experiences, and I know they're not lying, so I'm not saying that you die and like you go into the atmosphere and you're never to be seen or felt or touched ever or ever again.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that you float off somewhere else and there's something else. I'm not sure if there's something else going on.
What about your own experiences? Have you never felt kind of like, you know, like when you've been in trouble with your parents or anything and you've been like, you know, deep down inside, you're like, oh my gosh, I could really use some help right now. And you know that there's no man alive that can actually change your situation, but you still ask for help anyway. Yeah. You're still like, oh, please help me.
Yeah,
have you ever been
that all the time?
Well, who do you think you're talking to?
I'm just talking to my other self. I'm reasoning with myself, I guess. I don't know.
But you know that you can't change your situation. If you could, you wouldn't even be asking.
No, I know, but I just think people like to talk it through in their head, and it's like you've got the good and the bad, and you sort of your bad reasons of your good or your good reasons of your bad, just to.
But is that call for help even coming from the head? Isn't that coming from deeper within? Isn't that coming from the heart? I mean, you're really asking for help. You're not thinking it. You're not like, I could really do some help right now. You're saying, oh man, please help me. That's coming from deeper than the head. That's coming from deeper than the brain, isn't it? You're trying to reach that like level of consciousness. I mean, some would even argue that God is consciousness. We can't like kind of, I mean, science cannot prove God's existence. It can only prove the signs of God, and it cannot disprove God either. But some would say that, you know, God is a level of consciousness. Like, we can't explain dreams or the soul, yet we know that there is something there. Science can't.
I think science can explain dreams, can't it? It can explain the different levels of sleep that we go into in our conscious mind, and lucid dreaming and everything. I think there is a reason for dreaming, and it's our, they know that it's our brain activity in our brain.
Can science explain intentions?
No, but yeah, I think that comes from human actions. I don't.
But if we, I mean, we could do something the same as an animal could do, right? Or an animal could do, rather the same as what we can do. But you know, if the difference is intention, then why is it that we have something that they don't? If we all just come by chance, and it's nature, and it's just, you know, natural selection and evolution and stuff, then how is it that we've got this level of consciousness that other beings don't, that we're able to kind of, you know,
manipulate the world?
I mean, well, depends what you use your intentions for, but I mean, like, in terms of like wanting the best for someone, wanting good, what you're intending to do, you know. Because
I just believe that it was chance that what we evolved from had a higher gene in the first place.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, a tiny mouse would have evolved into like something else, but it hasn't got the capability of the gene and the cell manipulation. So I just believe that it was chance that what we came from had it there in the first place. So we was able to evolve, and nobody else.
So let me ask you something. If you was walking,
animals have evolved, haven't they? They just haven't evolved
adaptation.
Into
I would say
human being.
I would say adaptation, because we can. This is something that we can actually witness. We can't. I mean, unless you can give me a example of something that has changed kinds, yeah. Then I'll accept your point. Otherwise,
from animal to human, there's no other.
Yeah, like there was one kind and they changed to another. Something that we've able to kind of, you know.
Well, there is, isn't it?
But that's what you're saying that we've come from. Surely you're saying that we've evolved from monkeys and a different type of kind to a human being. Yeah. But there is no proof of that. There's no evidence of that. It's just a theory. Adaptation, yeah, where we've evolved. Sure, I go with that. I mean, we're a nation of Texas, so our thumbs are getting shorter because, you know, that's something that's happening right now. We can witness that, and that doesn't go against like what religiously, you know, is being said, because people do adapt, and you do adapt to it. Well, humans are great at adapting to their environment and stuff.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take away from that, but yeah, to completely evolve from a mouse to a cat and whatever else, you know, there is no examples. So, like, here's the thing, yeah? If you was walking in the desert, yeah, and you came across a phone, right, and you had never seen anyone create a phone before, or it was the first time you'd seen a phone, would you say that came by chance? Would you say that this is here, so it must have just kind of evolved this way, or came by accident?
No, because that's quite far-fetched. Because it's technology, isn't it? So technology is man-made, whereas we are water. We are made of water, so we have come from the ground. So there is more likelihood that we would have evolved from the ground.
Okay, then say a bottle of bubble bath, which contains water, which contains plastic, which is oil, natural. These are all natural elements. Yeah, even the phone is natural elements, to be honest with you, because, you know, metal, plastic, all this stuff can be heated up, sand which turns into glass, all this stuff can actually be, you know, that's how we make these things, isn't it? We use it from nature and then we mold it into our own.
But I mean, not anymore. It's all lots of it's all chemicals and it's all synthetic, isn't it? But...
Okay, so say for example, let's use a simple thing that's like a bottle of bubble bath. Would you think that was?
Well, obviously not. No, bubble bath hasn't evolved from anything other than.
But here's the thing: our single cell, a single cell in our body has so many functions, has so much, and it's so much more complex than even a mobile phone.
Yeah.
And yet we can say that that's by chance, but the phone it can't be. Even if we've never seen someone make a phone before.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, look, your eyes, yeah. What's the purpose of your eyes?
To see.
And your ears?
Yeah, to hear.
Right. So you know the function of these two. You know the purpose of these two functions. Yet you yourself, as a whole, you don't think you have a purpose. Does that mean that these two things they have more purpose than yourself?
No, I feel like I've got a purpose. I don't feel like I walk around with my.
No, I don't mean like in a sense of worthlessness. I don't mean like that. I mean as a purpose and like of life, purpose of life, not like purpose like you ain't got no aims or objectives.
There has to be a purpose of life, though. Why does there have to be a purpose? Why are we not just here out of probability? Why does there have to be a meaning of life?
Because we see purpose in all things around us. Like even like for example,
purpose in things that we've been conditioned to see purpose in doesn't mean there is a purpose in the first place.
Conditioned by who? These are
by
things.
Our society, by our environment.
So like if we look in history, right, the whole of mankind up until this point, up until this day and age, they believed in the higher being because they acknowledged that they didn't create themselves, and that we didn't, like we can't replicate, we can't even like reproduce a flight.
That's because they believed in the higher being because there was nothing else to believe in, though.
No, this higher being, they looked everywhere for it. They pointed to the sky. They said it was the sun. They said it was the moon. They worshipped the trees. They worshipped, stone idols and whatever else. They worshipped God from when Revelation came down and whatnot. But this day and age, it's like God's not needed. But still, it doesn't really. I don't know.
I think if you can live your life and be really peaceful and content and happy, and it be because you are following this God, I think that's a positive, good thing. But I think not everybody needs that to have those type of feelings.
Okay.
So I feel like I feel like I'm happy, I'm a good person, and I have a lovely family.
Oh, I'm not trying to take that away from you.
No. I'm not saying you are. But I'm just saying that I feel like I don't need any. I feel like I'm making my own destiny. I don't feel like my destiny is really set out for me.
Predestined. You don't believe it's like that?
Well, not necessarily. No, I feel like that certain things happen for a reason sometimes, and good and bad come out of good and bad situations.
Right.
And doors open, perhaps wouldn't have opened. It's it's a bit of a knock-on chain effect sometimes. Life.
So you think we just came and we follow everything the natural way, yeah? Like we follow nature.
I think the basic human instinct for me is more of guidance than.
Is it here somewhere?
Yeah, it is than a book.
Can I ask you one quick question?
Go on then.
Yeah. Sorry, I know you're here.
The most intense fucking ride home ever.
Sorry, no, it's because I'm interested in what people think and what they believe. It's great. So, sorry, have you taken offence to anything I said?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
no,
okay,
very interested. No way.
Okay, I just want to ask you, one last thing. If we were to follow what's natural, what's like in nature, okay, and nature is our example, let me ask you. When a female dog, I don't want to say the rude word, but when she has a litter of pups, after a couple of months they grow to a certain age and then they start mating with each other.
Yeah.
To us, they're brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Because we think morally it's wrong, or whatever it might be.
It's not just morals, is it? Again, it's science. If you mate with your siblings,
Yeah.
the gene pools are too close, which cause
Misfits.
Misfits.
Yeah. But I mean, we haven't learned that just by trial and error. It's been from, like, you know, people haven't been doing that from way back when.
I think it is trial and error. I think, you know, there's a reason why.
But that's only sometimes. That's not even all the time. If you look at it, if you look at it like pros and cons.
But the probability of it is if you meet somebody that is a complete stranger and you don't share any of the same sort of genes, you're not in the same gene pool, or you have a baby with your brother, probability shows that you are more likely to have a disabled child.
No, but even before that, right? Even like if you're gonna weigh it up by pros and cons without a religious kind of view on things, yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it all weighs up to an advantage, apart from the occasional misfits. And even when like cousins are getting married and whatever else, you still have that happening. But still people do that, right? So my point.
It depends where you are in the world.
It depends where you are in the world, but my point is like, you know, you don't have to go out and find that your partner. Yeah, it's all like in house.
Yeah.
You're saving time with introducing to the parents and whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, it's gross because we have a morality, right?
Yeah.
But you know,
I think in the grand scheme of the human being, it can't be an advantage, because I think you learn and you adapt and you accept different people's situations by going out and finding people and having different experiences. I think if you were just to stay in your own little sect and area, I think the world would never have grown like it has. So I think it's the fact that we have gone out and searched for different things, different people, different whatever, is why we are here now today, like living how we live.
Cool.
I think if we'd have stayed in our little groups, I mean, it would have been very different, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting ride home.
You know what?